Hello, I'm Samuel from Keep Learning YouTube, and I'm going to teach you on the factors that you should consider when setting up your e-commerce presence. First, you must consider that your e-commerce site must have a software aspect that you should consider for the presence because you need to see it, and also the hardware part that works under behind the scenes, and the management team and the telecommunication system. These are the network configuration, and so we should have a vision first and a mission. So before we begin, we should identify the market and we should do a SWOT analysis. In SWOT analysis, what we do, we identify the strength of our planned e-commerce site that we want to establish. We identify the weaknesses, the opportunity, and the threats. For example, the strength can be we have seen a space, a gap in the market. The weakness can be we have limited funds. Opportunity can be there is presence of a market, and threats can be our content might be stolen by, or our thoughts, our ideas might be stolen by other e-commerce sites, and ads may not. And another threat is that ads may not accommodate our sites for advertisements. After that, also we should consider on the SDLC process, the process that will begin in setting up all the way to completion. First and foremost, we should look at one thing is the planning and or what we call analysis stage. In this, we have the business objective, and we want to turn it into a system functionality. For example, we want in our e-commerce site users can chat with one another, in which as a system it will be that users there will be blogging in our system, and that is the functionality that we'll try to fulfill. And so that's a brief introduction on the analysis phase. We have the design phase. This is the architectural phase, as we can call it. And in the design phase, what happens there is that we have the logical design and the physical design. So logical involves the structuring how processes will go, like how a customer will order until completion, until shipping. We have the physical design, which include the network configuration and the hardware configuration. And so we find out that in the physical design, we can have the various level tiers architecture, which I'll talk about, and we now implement it after we have had our logical design and the physical design. We now implement our software, and now after implementing it, we test it. Implementing involves coding, testing involves user testing the code itself, checking for bugs, and testing if the users like the system. And then now we can now maintain the code after implementing it, and we can look at the maintenance costs afterwards. And another thing that I would like to talk about is the hardware architecture. So when setting up your e-commerce site, you need to have a site that is fast, and for that we have horizontal scaling and vertical scaling. If maybe your site is slow, you can consider using more processors, which is vertical scaling, in which you take this computer and you enhance it, you improve its RAM, you improve its processing power. And for the horizontal scaling involves distributing the task between this computer, the other computer, and so on. So you can use cache strategies, so on, so that you can have maximum output. So we look at the page content, how are the content delivered, how delivering means the bandwidth, the internet. And after that, we can look at some parts of the e-commerce, which involve the web server and the application server. So web server involves using such as Apache and Gigs, and these are, as the name suggests, web. So they involves HTTP requests, sending back and forth, and the communication back and forth. So they assist in that. They assist in securing the circuit layer. And for the application server, it's a 3-tier, in which we have the front end, the middle tier, and the back end, whereby in the application 7, it has the business logics that we need to have for our system to run. And so that's about the application server and the business logic. So I would like to talk about also the things that annoy users. First is the pop-ups, the ads, and being limited to view unless you sign up. And these are some of the negative things that we have seen in our websites. And the positive ones are such as what we say, having a beautiful UI, fulfilling its functionality, being fast, responsive, and so on. So ensure you capture all that, ensure you capture the market and set up the system, and for that it will have a good e-commerce presence. Thank you.